Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hello, it's great to see you. Hello, it's so wonderful to see you again here on the City of Burlington's website. It's full of fun and interesting activities and entertainment. Thank you so much for inviting all of us into your homes. My name is Michael. I'm a chef and recreation programmer with the City of Burlington. This is an episode of Cooking Quickies, an instructional video on how to make delicious, easy meals at home using common items you would find in any supermarket. Today we're making pan-roasted salmon with green pea puree or mushy peas. Let's go over the ingredients list now and make this dish. We're going to need a 4 or 5 ounce boneless, skinless salmon fillet. We're going to need some lemon juice, some butter, some olive oil, some parsley or cilantro, some frozen green peas, some salt, some pepper. Let's take some of our salt, pepper, season both sides. You want both sides of your salmon to taste good, not just the one. We'll take our frozen peas and we'll drop them into some boiling salted water. And all we're looking for them to do is to float back to the top, have the water come to a boil again, and then we'll strain them out, put them into our puree. We're going to put our pan on medium-high heat, and we're going to add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil, and we're going to add about a tablespoon of butter. And people always ask, well, why do you use both? And the reason why is because oil has a high smoke point, but it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor compared to butter, which has a low smoke point. So you get the best of both worlds by using a little bit of both. As soon as our butter stops foaming, we know we're ready to add in our salmon. So we'll do that now. And this salmon is not going to take too long to cook. It's as I say, it's about a 4 ounce salmon fillet. And typically you want to try to cook your fish on the presentation side first. So in this instance, this is our presentation side here, the side that the skin was not on, right? So that's going to be the side that we want to serve to guests or to ourselves. When the salmon has gotten a nice sear on one side, we want to flip it over to the other side. You see some nice browning, some nice caramelization there. And that's what we want, that's what we're looking for. Now this technique is called pan roasting. So the idea is that we're searing it on the one side, we're going to turn it, we're going to sear it on the other, and then we're going to try to create a little bit of heat and trap that heat inside the pan. And so to do that, you either take a lid if you've got one. If you don't have one that fits this pan, no worries. What I'll do is I'll take a baking sheet or a baking tray and I'll place it on top of the pan, and that traps the heat inside, and this starts the roasting process, if you will, inside. Now, salmon doesn't have to be cooked for too long. You're probably looking at 6 minutes in total for a piece this size. What we'll do in the meantime is we'll take our peas now and we'll strain them out. And we're going to take them, we're going to put them inside of our food processor or Roku or blender or whatever you've got. Just drop them straight in there, nice and hot. I have added in a little bit of butter and some salt and pepper. You're just going to pop your lid on and you're going to go ahead and puree this until you get a nice mix. You can go as far as you want to go with it, make it nice and smooth, or you can leave it a little bit on the chunky side, which is the way I like it. You could always add in a little bit of cream, but I think the butter is more than enough to give it a nice richness. Now we're going to take our lemon, and we only need half. So I'm going to squeeze it straight into our pan, and I use my fingers to catch any of the seeds. Sort of like our built-in strainer. Okay, and there's all my seeds there caught in my fingers. We're going to take our salmon now, which is cooked perfect medium, and we're just going to leave it on the pan. And it's the lemon, the juices that are left behind from the salmon, and a little bit of butter that's going to make up our sauce. And it's a super quick sauce. We'll just add in. It's probably a good idea to have the butter cold, not room temperature. The colder the better. And that way you're going to get sort of more of an emulsified sauce. Something that's got a little bit of body to it. I'm just going to go ahead and let that melt down now. You could even turn the heat off at this point because the heat in the pan is going to go ahead and melt the butter the rest of the way. In the meantime, what I could do is I can go ahead and chop my cilantro. I'm using cilantro today, but you could just as easily use parsley. And just give it a rough chop. And in this case, cilantro goes really, really well with our pea puree. You could, like I say, use parsley. You can use mint, which goes really, really well with peas. So we're going to add some of that inside. And then we're going to take pea puree, which is still nice and warm, and set it right in the center there. And you can see how it's got that little bit of texture. It's not completely mushy at this point. You can still see some of the peas. Gives a nice texture. We're going to take our salmon. We're going to lay it right on top of our peas. We're going to take our sauce, and you can go ahead and just spoon it over top, drop it over top. I'm going to actually just ladle it right over top. And I'm a sauce guy. I like extra sauce. And then we'll finish it just with another little piece. Not necessary, but I think it's just always nice to have a little bit of garnish there. And that's a little piece of cilantro. And then we're just going to cut in. You can see how nice that salmon is. Still nice and moist and juicy on the inside. I'm going to have to grab a fork. I'm going to give it a little taste. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that salmon, see how nice and flaky that is. Nice and moist. And a nice sear on the outside, both sides. I'm going to take some of that pea puree, and I want a bit of that sauce too. All right. Super flavor. Really, really simple sauce. Only a few ingredients. Like we said, you can pick them up at any grocery store. Give it a try, please. Remember that every time you join me, you're joining all of your friends. Why don't you give someone a call? Watch the show together. I'm Chef Michael for the City of Burlington. Keep surfing the web. Join me next time on Cooking Quickies. Thanks.